Hello, welcome back to 3D Drawing for Your Model Railway. We're going to continue on working through creating the transfers for the cow and shield and crane that we produced using the Inkscape software. Okay, so let's make a start on doing the parts on the side of the runner here. So we can see initially we've got the number ADB 998530. If we go into Fusion, we can work out the size that we're going to need for that. Okay, so again, we're just going to need to work out roughly on what size on the side we're going to be using here. So if we just create a box, it's going to sit about that position there. So that was 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter by 5 millimeters. We compare them two side by side. Probably going to be about right. So ADB 998530. Come into Inkscape and we'll create enough text. And I want the font to be 1 millimeter. ADB 998530. Reduce the size of that box there. Okay, and we know that we've now got, if we can select it, we can highlight the box. You can see the height is saying is 0.67, but we know that the font size was 1 millimeter, which is a little bit weird. So yeah, that's set as 1 millimeter, so not entirely sure what's going on there, but it looks okay. So we'll go with what we've got there. We're obviously going to need two of those because that's going to be on both sides. So let's move that, put it down here. Control C, Control V. Okay, so the next thing we're going to want, let's bring this back in, is this text here. So let's find a picture that's a little bit closer so it's easier to read. No loose equipment to be carried on this wagon. Okay, and we know that's going to be a little bit bigger than overall than the number, but it's a smaller font size. So no loose equipment, and then space to be carried, to be on this wagon. Okay, so text. Let's create a box. Let's go font size. Let's go for 0.6, I think. No, is it capitals? Zoom in. No, it's not. So capital beginning letters and every other letter is lowercase. Carried on this wagon with a little bit of double spacing on this one, I think. Okay, so we need a bit more spacing on the top and a little bit less on the bottom. Look at that. So if we go up here, I'm just going to put a little bit double spacing onto this. I'm actually going to take it out on the lower one. Okay, check the box size. So select that. It's 1.25 millimeters, and we've got 2 millimeters on the size of the side frame, so that should fit there. Now the font isn't exactly correct. It's a bit of an odd font, but at that size, it's not really going to be too legible. So I'm just going to go with what we've got there. Obviously, if you want to spend more time doing these, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay, so now we're going to move along. Then we've got match wagon. I'm going to do this. No, I'm not. I was going to say I was going to do this as one complete one, but I might do them as separate. Just because I think it'll be easier to offset them and then group them afterwards. So we've got match wagon. It's going to be similar font to this one. So that's this one here, which we said was, I think it was size 1. So we'll create a new text box, font size 1. Match wagon. Actually spelled correctly. Wagon, was it capitals at the beginning? Yep. Okay, let's reduce that down. In fact, what we can do is do lengthwise longer, do some spaces in here. So let's be reduce that length. Okay, and then we want another text box. Again, font size 1. That might be too big actually, thinking about it, because we've got to get both of these in. Let's try D, M and E, E. We're going to have to do these as separate, I think, so we'll do that, reduce that. Create another text box underneath. Okay, so now we can move these around. Let's see if we do this. So slightly off. Just zoom in a bit so we've got a better view. And that one was, what's that in line with? The D is in line with the C. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So let's select those 3 and then group them together. Okay, we can move these, put them at the top here. Control C, Control V. Okay, I've got 2 sets, one obviously for each side. So I think the next thing I'll do is just create some of these similar ones for the other version, which is 96101, and its corresponding match wagon. There is a couple of transfers which are slightly different, so it'll give us both options depending on which one you want to do. So obviously the next easiest thing to do is let's do the match wagon number. So just again coming into Inkscape, we can control copy the original we've got there. And if we just go into text, and the match wagon number you can see here is 998531. This is the case of just changing the last number to a 1. And then we can copy that, have both options. The number on the side of the cab, is 96.1.1, slightly different layout, so we can change that. If we select this one up here, copy, sorry, paste. Okay, and then if we do object ungroup, we should be able to move some of these objects around. So like the electrification is a bit more central on this one. And obviously we can change the numbers. Slightly different font. I mean, we could change the font itself. If we come in here, British Railway dark, we could change that to British Railways light. Gives it a slightly different look. I might actually do the same on these ones actually. British Railways lights. Change the number. And we'll check to see that everything's lined up. So the A is on top of the 9. So we'll have to move that over slightly. And I think everything's okay. So if we just select all of that, group, and paste. So if we have a look at some of the other transfers we've got here, everything else there is on white, so we need to do them on a separate sheet. Obviously I'll come back and I'll do the black stripes in a bit. ZSV separate. Now obviously we've got that in here, it's not a massive issue, you can just cut that as you lay the transfers up if you need to. No loose equipment to be carried on this wagon. Actually, looking at that, I've already got that one. That should be to be here. Let's edit that. Take that off and put a couple of spaces in there. So the C's underneath the O. Wagon is where the B is. So we're going to need some spaces in there like that. We get rid of that one. Copy that down to there. Let's just check position of these. Yep, that looks fine. Match wagon and then DME electrification. Font again, I think this font here probably should be lighter. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, I might change the font on this here to the light version. Where's that changed? Why is it not changed? Let's undo that. It's weird why it's not doing it. Could be because it's grouped. Let's try that. See if we ungroup those. And then we can see if it will change now. Nope. Don't know why it's not changing. Let's see if we can just type it in. No. Okay, let's find out what's going on here. There you go. Weird why it's doing that. Same with the electrification part at the bottom here. Slightly thinner text, I think that looks a little bit better actually myself. Okay, let's have a look for any more. I think that's about it for normal black or coloured on clear transfers. I'm not doing this version, it's a completely different version. Okay, so happy with that. I think I'm going to end this video here, and then on the next video I'll come and do the stripes because this could take a little while to get these right. So I'm going to leave it there. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.